Welcome, welcome. Today we are talking about what's missing in your business, 5 fixes to unlock real growth. We're going to talk about some problems and ways that we can fix it. There's a lot of information here. So I do have the workbook in the chat, so be sure to download that if you could print it out. I like to actually write on mine and take notes, but whatever you're most comfortable with, we're going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to turn my video off right now. And I will watch the chat. Let me move this over so I can see it. All right, here we go. Get my camera, everything going. So today what I want to do is I'm going to show you exactly what you need in place to go from maybe feeling overwhelmed, confused, or just totally unsure about how to take your business to the next level, how to fix the things that just aren't working in your business. And I'm going to move you to feeling confident so you know what to fix to make consistent income online. We're going to cover a lot of information. This is just a snippet of it. My 5-step process to find customers who buy quickly, why it's not enough to just want to get to the next level. This is a different list than what I had a few minutes ago. Oh well, my 10-point business get to the next level checklist, some support systems, why building your email list is more important than, and it doesn't say it, social media. So the link to the workbook is in the chat, and so I'm gonna leave that where it is. And if you, I know this is hard, but if you're not watching on your cell phone, turn it over, turn it down, silence it, or turn it off. Shut down all the extra windows on devices you're not using to watch this. Close your door if you can. If you have kids, I know you can't do that. And close your device, your other devices as well. So I really was looking to see where I was. We're going to start with a little activity that hopefully will get you some confidence about a website and what you really need here. So I really believe, and I found this from Neil Patel, I use his Ubersuggest for my keyword research. And these are the 4 most important pages on your site. And I would say your home page, because that's where most people land, your About Me page, and it sort of drives me crazy when people do an About Me page and it's just like a corporate one. You don't even know who this person is. They don't even use their name. I know some people have privacy things, but still, your blog, or I should say podcast, wherever you have your content. For me, I actually have a blog link at the top of my pages and a podcast. So people can consume my information either way, in a blog format or in a podcast as well. And then contact us so that people can actually contact you if they are having questions. So these are the pages I think you need to really pay attention to. I will tell you just a little secret trick is, if when you're working on your homepage, in my personal opinion and from my experience, I think the most important thing you can have on your homepage is a lead magnet, a giveaway, something free that you can get their name and email. And I think it should be what we call above the fold, meaning it should be towards the top of the page. If you've got all these advertising and all these sidebars and everything, people get distracted and don't know what to do. So for me on my homepage, at the very top, there's a header with my logo on it. But the very first thing for my homeschooling is one, would you like my book, everything you need to know about homeschooling? And on Family eBiz, it's offer that says, offers our Family eBiz blueprint. And they're both free. And so that way I begin to build my list. The other thing I have on my homeschool one is a pop-up, and it only comes up once a day, but it offers something for free. So there's 2 ways on homepage that I can grow my email list. And I do totally believe your email list is gold. It is your most important asset. But what we want to dive in today, and I want you to see just at the beginning, and we're going to dive into all the other stuff, is our About Me page or About Us page if it's a group of people. First of all, you need to know it's really not about you. It's about your reader, because your reader is the hero in the story. You are just a guide, guiding them along, serving them, and giving them good information. So, what are 3 steps to have an effective About Me page? You need to tell your story, how you got where you are, how can you help your reader, And if you've got some accomplishments or whatever, something about you that they will begin to relate to. Because if they know you, get to know you, they get to like you, then they are more likely to trust you and spend money with you as well. So you want to tell your story. Then you want to add your image, your personal image. I personally think if you're going to be online as a business, you should be willing to use your first name. You don't have to use your last name. You don't have to put your kids in there and all this stuff. But they need to know you're a person, not just a brand, not just a company. So add an image and then offer a freebie on that About Me page. There's another place that you can get their name and email. It is the last time I did research, which was probably about a year or so ago. About Me page, besides the homepage, is probably one of the number one pages that is visited in a website. So that tells me we need to spend time on our About Me page. Put a yes in the chat. If you think this is doable and you could complete these 3 steps to publish or improve your About Me page, I'd love to see. I got to get this thing so it's moving down. Kelly's our, oh, hello, Kelly. Didn't see you. Kelly said yes. Now, I will say this. I updated my About Me pages a couple years ago, and I personally think it's time for me to do it again, just because life changes. Even I do put a family picture usually on there, and so I try to put an updated family picture or an updated picture of me, which I don't have yet. Teresa says mine is already pretty good per my last audit. That is awesome. Congratulations. So that's a simple way to get started. Homepage with your lead magnet at the top, and then About Me page. And those are simple things that you can do first. Too often we want to make a product or whatever. This is where I really think you need to start. And Janie says, I already have all these on my, oh, yay, Janie. Oh, wait, I lost that. Maybe time to review my freebie. Yeah, and see if it connects with the weed thing. All right. And okay, there we go. So now let's just move on. If I can get this thing to move. You're in the right place. If some of y'all are stay-at-home moms who want to just start an online business, but you're confused what to do next, or what's even most important to start making money. Some of you already have a part-time business. You're a content creator, or you're a blogger, or you're a podcaster, but you're barely making any money, or you're just making a part-time income. Too often you find yourself chasing the shiny object, confused about who to follow or how many people to follow, or who to listen to make a real income. Some of you might be a solopreneur or an empty nester, and you're like, I've got this business, but I really want something significant to help others, but you're really not sure if your idea is viable. We're going to talk a little bit about research today. And then for some of you, you may be a single mom or dad. You need to make this work to support your family. And going online will give you the freedom to spend time with your kids and be able to work from home. So leave something in the chat. Tell me which one are you? You may be more than one of those, 1, 2, 3, or 4. I'd like to just sort of see who we have here. And just know that no matter which one describes you, I'm going to support you, and I've got ideas to help you as well. So we've got stay-at-home moms. Let's see, there we go. That's it. Well, y'all can keep putting there in there 2 and 3. Very good. All right. Well, and some of you know me, some of you don't. So let's just take a quick look at this. Is a recent picture. It was last August. I think it's the most recent picture we have. Steve, my husband, started a family business not back in 1985. It was a remodeling contracting thing. And then in 2002, we moved to Idaho for him to go to seminary, and we could not take our remodeling contracting business. So we went all online, everything. And we had a company called Curriculum Connection. I resold other people's books. And then Steve started teaching families and teens how to start their own business, to teach teens. And it supported us in Idaho. And he continued to teach families online marketing. And that is where Family eBiz came from. Then I started how to homeschool my child and started creating digital products, courses, supports, groups, events. And all of our kids worked in our business. So let me introduce them to you. This is Ashley. She is our oldest. She is married to Jesse. They have Elizabeth and Faith. And she used to do a lot of our travel arrangements when she lived at home. She was our go-to person when we were hosting an event at a hotel. And all of the kids did QuickBooks. They all took their turns learning how to do all of that. But she would keep us sort of organized and planned. Gentry is our middle daughter. Oh, and by the way, birthday party, Deacon, it was Cowboy Bob birthday party. That's why people are all in boots and cowboy hats. So, and this is Gentry, our middle daughter, married to Andrew. They have Landry and Deacon and Sloan, who just started walking. I found out when I talked to him on Saturday. Gentry really did all our shipping and handling, customer service in high school and college. And she just sort of balanced all of it herself. And so she did that. And then Hunter, baby of the family, just got married to Brittany a year ago. And he took over when Gentry left, and he was just starting college and continued to work on it. All of them told me when they took their accounting course in college, they're like, oh, now QuickBooks makes so much more sense. So they knew what to do, but they didn't necessarily pull it all together. So they did the shipping, the business, the travel, went to homeschool conferences. They would work the booth. Steve and I would speak in workshops. They would run the back of the room for the business conferences that we had. We were making a living full time online, and it really does work, and it really is possible. I will say when we came back, we sort of dropped the online. Steve went back to remodeling, but I'll tell you my story in a minute. I'll tell you how I sort of got back into it. So there's our family for Family eBiz. Think about this. Would you tell me how this might affect you if you could wake up each morning excited about your work, knowing you're making a difference for your readers, knowing exactly what to do today to grow your business, you're passionate about your niche, those you work with, you have a marketing plan, what to do first and what to do next, and freedom to do what you're called to do. How might this affect you right now if all those things were true? Put something in the chat. Just let me know. Would your business just keep going along because it's already doing that, or would there be something different? Or how would that help you, just your whole family as well? So leave something in the chat. Let me know how that would affect you. Today, what I want to talk about, and it's sort of the name of the thing, 5 fixes to unlock real growth. We want to provide a foundation to set up a business with much automation. If you already have a business, we want to improve that foundation and make sure it is a stable foundation so that you can have freedom to work from anywhere, doing the work that you're called to do and helping others as you serve them and sell them. So here we go. Let's talk about this. I should have put this one second, but here's where we're going. I am going to go deeper in my story and what happened. This is the slide I was thinking was at the beginning. We're talking about perspective so you can get to the next level, viability and research of your current business or one that you're planning, my 10-point checklist and 4 support systems, a strong foundation to move forward, and well-planned marketing system. Let me just tell you, some of you already know my story, but in 2020, I lost half my income. And I had homeschooled my child, and we had Family eBiz, but they were purely hobby businesses. They made money, but I couldn't live off of just that income. I knew what needed to be done, but I really wasn't sure about it. Would this really work for me? It's been several years since we lived on a full-time income. Would people really buy from me? And my mindset was sort of scared. Is this really going to work? But eventually, really in about 3 months, I started putting into practice some of the things that I knew from the marketing that I had learned back in 04 to 2010, 2012. And it did start working. And that is when in August and September of that year, it had been about 3 months, I started making a full-time income and I discovered freedom to go help with my grandkids, freedom to go visit Hunter and all his travels around the world. I've been able to go see him in Hawaii and Ecuador and El Salvador, and he loves to surf, and that's why those are the places that I go visit. And I've been able to go on vacations as well. 2 years ago, I was able to buy Homeschool Blogger Network, and that is why there are two logos down here. There are two companies that I feel like are supporting this, and those are the ones that I was reaching out to in hopes of helping them improve their business as well. But sometimes we're like, how can you do it? How can you do with all the noise from all the internet marketers? How do you trust who to get strategies from that really work? Or am I just following 10 free strategies and they don't really go together? And you're trying to balance life and family. Some of you are homeschoolers, you're working maybe part-time and wanting a side hustle or just trying to focus in general, or you get distracted by those shiny object syndrome or all the moving parts and all the tech. That can get frustrating. I know for me as well, even though I've been doing this for a while, I can't find leads or I can't drive traffic to my offers. I know I would make money if I could just get people there. No one's buying from me. Those are all things that I have had to work through personally. And so I want to give you some ideas, some fixes to some of the things that maybe are missing in your business as well. So we want to take a step back. If you're not growing or getting to the next level, or you're stuck trying to get started, take a step back and let's be sure that you're on the right path. So stay with me. We're going to talk about 5 fixes that we can overcome that mindset, the foundation, and practical strategies. Both the mindset and the practical strategies are super important. So let's dive in here. And number one, a clear, strong reason born out of passion, not lack. What in the world do I mean by this? Sometimes we pick something because everyone else is telling us to do it, or everyone else is doing it. It looks like that's what I need to do to make money. Lucy was even saying at the beginning in the baking or gardening thing, it's like it's so broad. And I think that is really an important thing to notice because you don't just go do what everyone else is doing. You need to make yourself unique. So I think you need a business idea that you are passionate about, one that you would eat, sleep, and dream about doing it. And I'll be honest, I love my online businesses. I love helping homeschoolers. I love helping people in the business world. I talked to my Hunter's best friend 2 weeks ago about marketing because he just bought his third auto shop. And we were talking, I mean, for like an hour. And I was just like pumped up talking to him about all of it because I enjoy it and I am passionate. I'm also passionate about my faith. And so I do let that come through as well. Do you have a burning desire to help a specific group of people and the conviction you know how to do so? Do you have specific goals for your brand and your business? And a viable business plan that spells out clearly how you can plan to reach these goals. Erin Monahan, I don't know how you say her name, Monahan. Anyway, when she had her first baby, she knew corporate world was not for me. Corporate ladder meant I would miss out on time at home. And the paycheck was just not big enough for me to do that. She said at the beginning, she spent a lot of time waiting for the magic to happen. Ever been there? Then she got serious about affecting a change. She says, I discovered business coaching and it was like the world cracked open in front of me. She said, this is what I was put here to do. She found something she was passionate about, something she was knowledgeable about, and something she could help people with and be able to make money. She had a clear mission. She identified the exact type of people that she could help and tell a story. And if you look at successful people's About Me page that I was sort of complaining about, they spell it out, their mission, who they want to work with, and how they can help them as well. So can you see, and put something in the chat, can you see how passion will make it easier for you to work on those rough days, on those rainy days like we had yesterday here, it rained all day long. But when things get rough and I'm tired, I'll be honest, I've had other things going on and Hunter stopped by yesterday and we talked for an hour, so everything was running late. And so Monday and Tuesday, I ended up starting later in the day. I worked till about 8 o'clock at night, just trying to get everything ready for today. But because I was excited and passionate about it, I went on and did that. And you may not be able to do that with your family. If you have kids at home, you may have to wait and work after they go to bed. But if you like it and you're passionate, then I think that will pull you through. Do you have a business dream or business idea? You need an overwhelming strong goal or consuming passion for your business. Both would be good. So, do you have a business idea? And I know some of you already have businesses, but if you do have some business ideas and you want to put them in there, put them in there. And just ask yourself the question, is this something you've always wanted to do? Why? Why do you want to do this? Because I really think getting to the root of your why when it's time that you go it alone at times is going to help you in many ways. It'll help you persevere. But if you understand this, you can come up with how are you different from everyone else? What makes you stand out? If you want to succeed, you have to stand out and be unique. There needs to be something special about you, not necessarily as a person, but you something that you offer that's special so the right people, the buyers, will come along. So what do you feel like? And I would love, put something in the chat. What do you feel like makes you not special, but unique, let's say, in the world that you are serving? Put something in the chat. I'm going to keep coming and then I'll come back. So, a few things to identify if you want to figure this out. Where are you most effective and natural in helping people? What do you do for fun? What experience do you have, and does it really help people? That you really, I read that wrong. What you have experience with and do really well that you take for granted. Sorry about that. Um, what others ask you for help with. This is a really good what questions. And what has no one else thought of in this area? Teresa says, I've visited every state and over 82% of the national parks. That is awesome. She has a travel blog and a membership as well. Think about this. Put something in the chat and tell us if any of these are true or what's the question that people are always asking. Maybe for Lucy, it's how to bake the perfect bread or whatever. I know Kelly helps moms simplify their homeschool and the chaos there. All right. And I would put everything down that comes to your mind. You might even go to ChatGPT and write some of the things, answers, and then let it help you come up with some ideas as well. I would take if you're still figuring out what you're passionate about, take 2, 3, 4 days and maybe 5 minutes a day because you'll think about it while you sleep. Those thoughts can be going through and it will gel one day and you'll understand where you are. So, does your business idea tap into all of these? Is it specialized? Specializing is the best thing you can do for yourself right now because specializing means unique and unique means you stand out. And when I was going through marketing courses in the beginning, they would say the tighter the niche, the more you get rich. So someone says, "Oh, I'm into baking." And you're like, "Well, that could be a lot of stuff, cookies, cakes, breads, whatever." But maybe you specialize. I don't know. I mean, I love to bake bread, so that's why I keep bringing it up. I got 4 really good bread recipes. I'm sure if I did something, I could make that stand out and help people do that somehow, some way. So, what is your passion? If some of y'all have put something in here, Teresa wrote about her trips, groups of friends that always ask me how to plant and grow dahlias. Probably said that wrong. So, there's lots of things. Just you need to know sort of what are people asking you. For me, I will give my example, then we're going to move on because I've been rambling on too much. How am I different? This is both in the business world and in the homeschool world. I am faith-based, and so a lot of people are going to not listen to me. Even if you're not a faith-based person, you can still get things, but people are attracted to that because they're a faith-based person. I tell real stories about myself, and when I goof up or things at work, I connect with my students and readers. I write them back. I also try to connect them with each other. Some of you business students, I'm like, Jamie and we were on something recently, and Right now, Lucy and Janie, they're both interested in gardening. Who knows? There could be a connection. Teresa and a girl in Amber, both in the same mastermind group, and they both have a travel and a field trip. Now, I don't know how it's all going to work, but I'd love to connect people like that. And I also identify with moms. So we do have a resource called Brainstorm Your Business that goes through a whole process of that if you're interested. So, number one, a clear, strong reason born out of passion, not lack. Number two, well-researched idea that stands out. Do you have these? Some of you are like, oh, I've already researched. Well, I'm going to go through things from a little different perspective than what I normally talk about. Emotion is a wonderful fuel for the engine, but you need a strong, well-oiled engine and a sound vehicle to put it in for the vehicle to run. You should be able to be hitting on all cylinders. That means you're hitting all the check boxes before you tell yourself it's time to quit a job or go full time into this. So, I think this is my 10-point checklist. Number one, demand. Is there a demand for your services or products among a paying market? It's so important to look at a paying market. Brian Chesky, who started Airbnb, I believe he found demand and validation. When they first came up with the idea of Airbnb, it wasn't something polished or perfect. They were broke. Rent was due, so they're renting parts of their apartments. They got mattresses and they rented the mattresses and started making money um, at a conference that was out in San Francisco. That was it. But here's what's important. They didn't just assume people would want this. Hear that? They didn't just assume people would want this. They tested demand immediately and people paid. So small tests can do wonders. That small test proved something powerful. It was a real paying market for short-term affordable lodging. And from there, they didn't just rely on the idea, they kept refining it, built a platform, and created a system that could scale. First, I mean, because we stayed in an Airbnb in San Francisco when it was first out there. Then it spreads to the United States and now it's all over the world. It's a global market. It started with validating one simple idea with real buyers. So, what is the lesson for you? Don't build first and hope people will buy. I'll say that again. Don't build it first and then hope people will buy. Prove people will pay and then build. So you can do small tests before you start broadening out to, your whole list or to your whole group. The next thing is a clear idea of who you are serving and how. This is that ideal audience idea. Another example is Whitney Wolf. She's worth $400 million. Can you believe? She started a company called Bumble. And she didn't just start another dating app. She noticed something specific. Women often felt uncomfortable or overwhelmed on existing apps. So instead of just creating something generic, she built Bumble with a key difference. It was for women who want to make the first move. That one decision changed everything. Why? Because she really understood her market. She knew exactly who she was serving, the problem they were experiencing, and what would make her solution stand out. So, my question to you, and as you're taking notes, do you know your audience well enough to know your exact audience, the exact problem they're experiencing, and what would make that solution stand out from the rest of the audience or the market? She didn't just build a product, she built it, clearly defined her audience and their real need. And Bumble, I didn't know that much about it until I researched, grew rapidly and is now a $1 billion company. Not because it was just another dating app, because it was the right solution for the right people. Are you providing the right solution for the right people? Clarity about your audience is not optional. It is what will make your business work. So you've got to be clear on who you are serving and how you are serving them as well. Next, a business plan that includes how much income you need to make. And this is just something, I mean, we're not going to go deep on all of these, but I think it is important you do have some kind of business. How much money do you need to make? Plan for growth and expansion. I will tell you, when I started my Raising Leaders products, it started as an ebook. It really started me talking it out and transcribing it. And then it was a giant mishmash. It was such a, excuse me, mix up mess. Um, and now it's really the focus of my homeschool business. It's what makes me different because I'm all about leadership education. I have a February conference, Life Skills Leadership Summit. I launch my product 3 times a year. And I have other little things. My podcast will support that as well. But it all works together. That is something that can help me with my business plan. Do you have a mission statement? Now, this is very broad, but it is like my podcast statement. It is for Homeschool Coffee Break. We help stop the overwhelm so you can take a coffee break. Very simple, but I know you need to leave, Janie. That's okay. Um, uh, we stop the overwhelm so you can take a coffee break. That's what moms are looking for. Another thing is, do you have a tracking system, a bookkeeping? Kelly just told us in the mastermind she's gotten QuickBooks, and this year she's already got all of Q1 entered and she's up to date in QuickBooks. Do you have a way to track your finances? Do you have a dedicated place to work? Do you have adequate capital and assets? And what do I mean? It's not necessarily just money. Do you have a computer, internet connection, software services, an email service provider? Those are the things you need for, and there's more, but that's a lot of what you need for an online business. Do you have a financial plan, a budget, and how you're different ways you're going to make money? I try to work on that in December for the upcoming year. And do you have evidence that your idea is visible? Oh, I forgot to change the slide. There you go. Evidence that your idea is visible. And I think this goes back to the testing in the Airbnb example. They tested it. They had evidence that that idea was viable. Some of the ways you can do this research is in paid groups because those are buyers. You don't want to just be checking out all the freebie people. That is not a viable idea. They say yes. And then you can get on Google and Pinterest and do some research on keywords as well. So my question with all of this, these 10 points, what's missing? Anything in that list that's missing? And if so, if you want to put it down, you can, but think to yourself, which parts are missing and that you need? All right, so clear, strong reason born out of passion, not lack, a well-researched idea that stands out. Number 3, an active support system. Let's talk about 4 support systems that you need because the right type of support can reduce your learning curve and get you really to real growth, the next level, a lot sooner. I know that has helped me tremendously. I'm part of Amy Porterfield's coaching program, and I listened to one of the trainings from 2 years ago. A few weeks ago, I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to change my launch in May. So I was really excited about that and putting it into practice. But that reduces my learning curve. So the first support network is a coach. It's important to figure out specifically what type of coach you need. And I do think they're important because they have all kinds of contacts, resources, tips, and they can help you accelerate your success. You need to be able to afford a coach, so you need to sort of take that into account. I think a paid coach, any of these, paid is better than free. You get what you pay for if it's free. I mean, you don't know if these people are actually making money. Most people that are making full-time income are not, doing a lot of stuff in those free groups as well. For me, I have had both business coaches and life coaches. A life coach when I need to get the negative thoughts out of my head. She helped me work through that. And then business coaches at different times. We had Jeff Walker in the very beginning, Product Launch Formula. And now I've been with Amy Porterfield for several years as well. Michelle Osborne had told me once, she said, I just got off a coaching call with Carrie. What a wealth of information she has to offer for promoting. I'm ready for our launch. And then she went on to hire me for 6 weeks to coach her through her launch as well. So a coach, next is a peer group. So it's sort of peer to peer. I'm not just going to, you can look at the list, local organizations, professional organizations, forums, and Facebook groups. And these could be more of the free type if you wanted to. Mastermind groups. I will say when we first entered our first mastermind group, we paid $10,000 a year. Now I pay $97 a month for the group with Amy Porterfield. And Justina's in our mastermind. She just said growth as a solopreneur is slow and steady, but I am seeing growth with guidance from Carrie. I've been able to launch new products, add affiliates to help me sell products, and do a live 1 day event and launch my membership. So she's seeing the value of something like a mastermind. And do you have family and friends that will support you and your followers as well? So listen to them as well. So coach, peer group, mentor. Now, a true coach helps you figure out your own solutions, where a mentor is usually there to keep an eye on you, to show you how to do things, help you in a more hands-on way. And usually it's a longer time period as well. A true mentor is someone with whom you build a long-term, mutually beneficial arrangement. We talked about this at Life Skills Leadership and finding mentors for our kids as well. And it should be mutually beneficial. Income source. You do need some income of some sort to be able to pay. And it could be you may need a loan if you want to start. I did, thankfully, have never had to do that, except I borrowed money from Steve. I think I borrowed $5,000 to get started. But other than that, we've just sort of made money to pay for it. Maybe if you have a teenager, it might be some parent support to get started or savings. Maybe we have some savings that you could get started. Do you have a good network of service providers? These are ones I would consider. Email service provider, scheduler, meetings, events, calendars, hosting for your site, maybe a VA of some sort. And then accountability partners. I know when I was doing Digital Course Academy, we had a little accountability pod and we worked together. And I don't know what day. We met every Tuesday for an hour and we just kept up with each other and make sure we were getting through the course well. They will cheer you on, remind you of deadlines, and ask probing questions. So it was a short-term accountability pod, but it was great. And then the last one, yourself. Be honest with yourself. You could be your own accountability partner. Listen to yourself and catch those times you find yourself making excuses for not following through with something. When you catch yourself making excuses, that's when little alarm bells need to go off in your head, right? You either need to tell yourself, just do it, or sit down and figure out what's going on inside your mind. I've done some self-talk. I get those negative thoughts and reels in my head, I get off and I start to speak truth and go, no, you really can do this. And here are some things that are true about you, and that is helpful. That's the one thing about a mentor or accountability. They can help you speak that truth. That's what my life coach actually did for me. So there are more than 4 support networks. Put something in the chat. Are you missing any of those, or do you feel like you've got all of those covered as well? I would just love to know if you see anything that's missing as well. Then we'll keep going. Number 4, a sound structural foundation, because those are mostly more emotional supports, but we need some other supports to really make it a business. It's like building a house. If something's a little off and not at the right angle, it's going to wobble and eventually fall down. Same thing will happen with your business, and we don't want that to happen. So, having the right attitude is essential to following through on your plan and taking action. Excuse me just a second. Oh, felt like I was going to sneeze. Follow through and taking action daily and consistently is what it's all about. So let's talk about some character qualities, some things you're going to need inside of you. Oh, that is not. There we go. Okay, those, I had the wrong slide. Those are the things, I'm not going to read, you can read through those. These are more the business ideas, and I sort of rambled through some of those. You need all of these different things, but what I want to focus on a little bit more are the emotions, the mindset. And then we're going to move into the last fix, which is practical. First is self-discipline. The ability to sacrifice and stick to your plan. I don't know if you've heard of Seth Godin. He wrote Tribes and Purple Cow and a whole bunch of others. He is well known as a marketing voice. He made a simple but powerful commitment to write and publish every single day. Not when he felt inspired, but not when he had time, but every day. He did this for years, thousands of blog posts, and at first, not many people would read them. There was no big launch, there was no viral moment, just consistent action. And over time, something happened. His ideas on marketing spread, his audience grew, and that daily discipline turned into, I think he's got 22 books out and speaking, and his business is thriving. What looks like an overnight success was actually built on years of invisible consistency and self-discipline. Success didn't come from one big moment, it came from doing the right thing every day. So we need self-discipline, commitment to action, to keeping on when the going gets tough, to finding ways past the obstacles. I found this out. Ben Silbermann is the CEO of Pinterest. When he launched Pinterest, almost no one used it. I think it was 2009, something like that. In the early days, growth was so slow. He emailed early users and even called some of them on the phone. He, out of the first 10,000 users, he wrote 5,000 of them. He even gave them his phone number, personal phone number for feedback. Think about that. The founder of a tech company is calling users one by one or writing them one by one. I call that scrappy. How can you be scrappy in your own business? Have you ever been scrappy? Put something in the chat. For me, I'll be honest, emails are great. I can send out 20,000 emails at the click of a button, but building relationships is a one-on-one process. And that's where you need to get scrappy. And that's where you need to send personalized emails, personalized DMs, reach out to these people, leave a voicemail or whatever. That is called commitment to making it work. Most people would have quit and moved on to the next idea, but Ben didn't. He stayed committed to making the product better and serving the people who were there. And that commitment obviously paid off. Look at Pinterest now. Real growth often looks small and slow in the beginning. Commitment is what carries you through that stage. Next, we have foreknowledge. Most people don't become, like we said, an overnight success, but once you start taking action, it can quickly snowball, especially if you are consistent and thorough in your planning. Determination, getting past the blocks such as fear and perfectionism so that you can start seeing evidence of success. I didn't know about this girl, but I do now. Sophia Amoruso, again, another woman worth $280 million as in 2016. She started selling vintage clothes on eBay while working odd jobs and really struggling financially. She didn't have a business plan like we've talked about. She didn't have investors. She just started. And here's what matters. She paid attention to what people liked. She improved her listing. She took better photos and kept going even when things weren't perfect. And now that little small eBay store is a multi-million-dollar business. Now, I will tell you her story isn't perfect because eventually she had to file for bankruptcy. It's sort of nice to hear stories. I'm not saying that's nice that happened, but sometimes we think people just everything always works out for everyone else. But that's actually the point. Her success didn't come from having everything figured out. It came from taking action. When are you going to take action? Before she felt ready and then adjusting as she went. And that's one thing I sort of do on a regular basis. Perfection isn't required. Progress and the willingness to keep going is. A clear grasp of your, that's the next one. So perfection is not required. And just put it good is good enough, as my Dan Kennedy, who I followed for years, used to say. The next thing is a clear grasp of your negative traits. Some of those words got left off, and how you're going to overcome them as well as your strengths. Alternatives, what to do when the babysitter's sick or when clients cancel. You need alternative plans. And then protocols, anticipating situations and setting up protocols, sort of like boundaries, I guess, for you or your assistants. You know, I try to not look at email until the afternoon. And so, unless it's an emergency and someone's contacting me another way, that's my protocol. That's how I do business. You need to have these and let people know that as much as possible, and especially in a welcome series. So, out of those, is there anything that you feel like you should be working on? What's missing here that we could fix? Christine, what is Christine's last name? Rabbit Trails, I can't remember her last name. She was telling me one time after she spoke at an event a few years ago, she said, even if things slip through the cracks, meaning things are going to happen, she says the difference between you, Carrie, and others is you're 100% available and open to helping when that happens. And that is one thing that I really want to do because I've had launches and the shopping cart quits. I mean, it just seems like something's always happening. Which one of these are you going to work on maybe for basically your emotional foundation? Leave something in the chat. And then number five, we got those. Marketing plan that rocks. All right. Here we thank you, Kelly. Christine Sal. I knew it was just not, it wasn't written down, so I couldn't think. All right, we want to drive traffic to our site, and there are lots of ways you can do that. You can spend money, but I would recommend collaborating, like Kelly collaborates with other homeschoolers, and she runs some collaborations with it, collaborating with other people in the family EBIS group or in the mastermind or our homeschool bloggers. And sometimes that's just a one-on-one thing, trading emails to each other's list. But you need to drive traffic to the site. You can also work on SEO. SEO is a long game. It's going to take several months, where a collaboration, you might see it a lot sooner. You're going to build a lead magnet to attract new readers as well. And a lead magnet is basically a free item that you give in exchange for their email address. And if you get that out on social media, that is a good thing to put in social media, to get on Pinterest, all over the place, that can begin to grow your list. I think that is the first place, besides sort of figuring out your niche and how you're helping people. That is to me one of the first things you should do, even before you start planning a product. Now, I do think your lead magnet should lead to whatever that product will eventually be. You need a lead magnet that is aligned to whatever your product is. And the way we build those relationships is with an email system. Faye wrote me a while back, and I want to read a little bit of what she said. I just want to let you know that the level of repetition and incentive of your emails, and y'all know me, I send several emails a week. She said, it's worked. It fostered in me a sense of name and brand recognition, and therefore a certain emotional affiliation. She recognized my name, she recognized my brand, and she had some emotional affiliation to that. I just want you to know that I made up my mind last week to purchase the Bloggers Toolkit, and after clicking on a link from Ultimate Bundles, I thought to go back and I'm going to use one of Carrie's links that was in her emails instead so that she can get the commission because I was the one that had been talking to her about it. So emails, you've got to use them well, and hopefully you can have results like that. And then obviously a website working for you. We've already talked about the major pages that you need. That was at the beginning. So if you got here late, you can go back and listen to those four main pages and how do we set up the About Me page. And then, where am I? Oh gosh, here. And oh, I wanted to tell you, that Joshua was one of our students. He was a 13-year-old, and he took a class from us with step-by-step instructions on building a website. And he said, I never knew making a website could be done so inexpensively. I had lots of fun learning the tools for making my website. So even teenagers can do this. And then finally, you got to have something to sell or sell other people's products. You got to make money or it's a hobby. And so this is really important. And those products should relate. All of this should go together. The traffic should be the audience that you're serving. The lead magnet should solve a part of their problem. The email system builds relationships so they will spend money. And obviously, you need some sort of website or some way to shopping cart and all of that. But the traffic to the lead magnet email system, and then I would say goes to whatever that product is you are actually going to sell. And that's what we call a funnel. And it starts at the top, it's very open. People land on your site, some sign up, some don't. They take that lead magnet, you start sending emails, and then it narrows down to a certain percentage of them buying whatever it is that you're offering. So out of these five fixes, I would love for you to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to tell you which one would be most helpful for you right now. I know there's details for each one of them. And as you do, Kelly said, collaborations are a great way to grow your audience, but also grow your professional connections. That is so true. So it's called networking, not net sitting in a banquet, not net eating. It actually takes networking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, hello, Kiara. Thank you for bringing awareness to items I haven't been able to consider. I'll need to review and reflect. Very good. Well, let's just say movie. I think it's important that you do look at this, what this was all about. What's missing in your business? Not Lucy's, not Teresa's, not Kelly's. What's missing in your business? And then let's fix it. And we've gotten some ideas to fix them as well. All right, moving forward, you need to figure out what kind of basic income you need, some sort of support, but then also going back, what is your passion? Your business should energize and inspire you, which will energize and inspire everyone who comes in contact. Like I do get excited. I get excited talking about whatever I'm talking about. And I think that sort of rubs off on the people that are here. Here, next question. Do you have persistence? You need to make a commitment to giving your business a fair chance, to being willing to be honest with yourself as well as accountable, and then to stand up for your dreams. You know what? You will make mistakes. I have made lots of them. You will have failures. Every entrepreneur does, but true entrepreneurs understand that these are invaluable learning opportunities. They don't hesitate to see the problems as challenges or disasters. And Malcolm Forbes says failure is success if, and only if, we learn from it. All right. So that's what I mean. When I have problems and I don't make sales on something that I thought, how was it the messaging? Was it the product? Was it the audience? There's all sorts of things that we've talked about. So all of these moving forward and then celebrate. Have a party. I mean, one time I had done really well in an event and I heard some people, sorry, Jamie, to redo my garden. And then one time I bought some new furniture for Hunter's old bedroom that we've turned into a playroom with a crib and a day bed. And so, anyway, Lucy's son, need to start with figuring out what I can sell. And that's a good point. And I think I would still start with the passion idea. And I think that's important because if you're going to do it, you want to have some passion as well. All right, at this point, I have a question for you. As many of you know, I'm always sort of at the end. It's my time to be the business person. Would you like me to help you gain confidence and freedom to get started or to get to the next level in your business? You can try to create a business and a marketing plan, but you'll run the risk of being in the same place this time next year with a big open loop and no plan to start making the money you dreamed of. And we're all dreaming of making money, or we wouldn't be here. Or you 100% commit to focusing on growing your business with a proven plan. If you're ready to get unstuck, fix the things that are missing, and choose those activities with complete confidence, then I'm going to invite you to a program that I have. And it's been a while since I've really promoted or let people know. Some of you already own this product. So, Boost Tools to Boost You to the Next Level. It is a unique business course that shows you exactly what you need in place to go from feeling overwhelmed, confused, or unsure, or not making money and chasing the shiny objects, to feeling confident so that you can take your business to the next level and make consistent income. There's no more false hope. It's just giving you trust and being trustworthy. Ken is someone that's taken our course. I'm immensely enjoying your course. I must say, just one of the little gems I have called from it would be worth the entire price of the course. And so far, I've found a half a dozen or so. I'm going to go very quickly through this, but module 1 is boosting from a solid foundation, starting over or starting in the beginning. Crush your confusion, overwhelm, so you have a solid foundation to grow your business every day, every week, and clarity and a path to walk on. This is sort of the fast track to being intentional. Module 2, boost your followers and customers. You got to have followers. You got to know who they are. You got to know their problem. And so we're going to go through and dig in and really do the work that it takes because we want to do this from a place of service so they know, like, and trust us. And I believe your customers, your followers are your number one most important asset. It is your email list. And so we've got to work on both of these, and we'll be working on that in module 2. Module 3, that we're going to boost your website and products. Now, look at that order. A lot of people would have that website. If I'm going to have an online business, the first thing I'm going to do is have a website and start making products. No, this is in the correct order. You need a foundation. You need, I said this earlier, you need followers and customers. What order are you doing them in? If you're doing them in another order, and it's not just me saying these, there are plenty of people out there that are saying you need to. I mean, that was a big lesson in Digital Course Academy from Amy Porterfield. Grow your lists before you start creating products, because then you'll find out what your list, the people on your list, really need and what's going on as well. So number 3, boost your website and products. We all need web pages to sell it, but it can be very confusing to know it. Shopping carts, plugins, and it can be confusing. And we will go through some of the tech. We will talk about emails and help you move past the feeling of fear. What plugins? How do I publish a blog or a podcast? Those kinds of things. And then we have a bonus module, boost your marketing and your list. This is to jump off the confusion bandwagon and discover tools of marketing that serve and sell at the same time, making it a win-win for you and for your customers. Tools that increase traffic to your site with potential for consistent income. Now, I do have a few bonuses. If you get it, brainstorm your business idea. You can get that. We talked about that. That will help you with your passions and figuring out your knowledge. And it's all sorts of questions that will help you narrow down what you should be doing. My second bonus gift is our flow charts. We have 3 flow charts, a getting started flow chart. So you start on the right path with the right foundation. Part-time, quit wasting your time on the wrong activities and busy work. Follow a proven plan. And then if you're moving, you want to move to full-time, this is how you would scale your business and put it on autopilot and then enjoy the freedom that you deserve. Now, I always offer some sort of money back guarantee. Your success in using these proven strategies to boost your business is guaranteed. But I'm not looking for, I'm only looking for serious action takers, not tire kickers as well. So before you request a refund, I would ask that you go through the course the first 14 days, that'd be module 1 and 2, and do the work and then show me that it was just not a good fit for you. And I will be happy to refund it because I am not going to hold anyone's money prisoner or that. So it means you really can't lose. You can test drive this and make sure that it's really what you want and what will help you move forward. So there they all are. There's the things, but I have some special bonuses. I haven't done this before. I'm going to have 4 weeks of office hours. That means every week we will meet and I will answer all the questions until we've answered all the questions. It will start next Wednesday, April 29th. And it will help you talk it out and boost your business to get started or boost it to the next level. This is something I'm super excited about. I borrowed that idea from a course I took at the beginning of the year. Bonus number 2, 7 steps to being motivated and staying focused. And so if you have the shiny object syndrome, this will help you maybe get away from it. It's a video and printables. Overcoming imposter syndrome, gaining confidence to get to the next level. Sometimes we were just having this chat in a mastermind, and this one girl who I think is hugely successful in her business was saying, I mean, she was vocalizing things about imposter syndrome. And why does that person have more success than me? And I've had to deal with that myself. So this is a video, and then there's a printable with 14 ideas to overcome imposter syndrome. The complete package is here. It is worth about $1,012 when I get to the end of the slides, but I know y'all are serious, and that's probably a lot more money than you have. All right, so we are going to have, you can either pay $25 for 4 months or a one-time fee of $97. You can go to familyebiz.com/boost and you can see all about it. I'm going to type that in. Did actually make that redirect. But I also, if you do pay in full, I have a special bonus for you if I get the slide to move. Come on. And it is my Path to Profits VIP days. We did this about 2 years ago, marketing funnels that sell. And we dive really deep into sales, three different sales funnels, lead magnets. We're going to talk about this in Boost, but this goes even further into bumps and upsells and tripwires. You'll get a notebook to go with it, checklist, flowcharts, and then you get a bonus, which is it's over 100 pages of swipe and copy templates, emails, funnels, lead magnets that you can use to boost your business. And then this is just an option. I just throw this in. I am offering private accountability and coaching opportunity with me. And it's actually 2 30-minute coaching calls. And it will be $50 if you decide to get Boost. And normally I charge $100 an hour. And anyone that decides within the next 24 hours, our fast action bonus is summer is almost here. People are going on vacation, and you probably want to take a vacation too. This is our vacation campaign toolkit. It's going to show you how you can set up a campaign and go on vacation and enjoy it instead of checking email and checking your phone and worrying if your business is still even existing. It has 5 video trainings. You can see the titles. A 3-week planning calendar you can work on ahead of time so you're ready. Step-by-step checklist so you can make all the best decisions and be ready for your vacay. And then an 8-step planning workshop, a lot of charts to help you make sure and you feel confident when you get in that car or get in that airplane, you know you're doing okay. So there we are. That is the entire plan. Getting to my notes. But some of you, I want you to think for a second why you came here and what your reasonings were and what might be your thinking. Some of you might think, well, I can create my own plan, and you can. And I've had to do that in the past because, and then it took me a whole lot of time. But I will tell you one thing. I am so thankful that back in 2006, we bought Jeff Walker's product launch formula and we let him teach us how to do it because I knew it would be a year or two at least before we started launching and selling digital products. And with his with his course in 6 weeks, Steve launched his first digital course and believe it or not, made $50,000 in a week. Now, I think that may not be as true today because there's just so much out there, but I still think you can make thousands of dollars using this particular system. Maybe you say, I can't spend the money. Well, my husband's lost a job, no longer able to work, or maybe you're a single parent and you need to provide for your kids. You want freedom for them. They're like, I can't spend the money. But I will say this, sometimes I feel this is how I rationalize it. I bought a course for $197 in January. And I'm thinking, if I make $200 off that course, I just made $3 profit. If you buy this course for $97 and you make 100, you've made $3 profit. And hopefully you will keep making it because you will keep using it over and over again. If you can make $100 a month, and let's say you start in June, then that's $600 right there. You've already made your money back on your investment. I won't be able to do it. Who will listen to me? There we go with that mindset thing. And that's why I have the office hours. I want to be able to help you work through some of these issues as well. They are both tech and they are planning, but they are also mindset issues. Mindset really plays a huge thing. And so I do want you to just think about why you came here. Right now, I think you can see how Boost will help you bust through all the sticking points you have, stop you from pulling the trigger to get to the next level or even get started. Your fear of failing because you're unsure if this really works. But if you still haven't signed up for Boost, maybe you have the doubts that I just gave you. I'm not getting all my notes printed out. Left me there. All right, we are going to open it up for questions. I'm going to be honest, these are the things that I still use, these strategies every single day, every single week, and it will be all outlined for you and meeting with me each time as well. I was going to see if we have any questions up here, and I've got some private ones as well. Y'all have some things, some comments. So if you have a question, you want to put it in the chat, let me know. Let me see if I've got any personal questions. The payment plan, someone I think asked earlier, yes, it is a 4-month payment plan, $25 a month. That's pretty much the same as a one-time fee. You just get to spread it out over 4 months as well. How long will it take to get through this? Well, it is a 4-week program. I used to give breaks for implementation. Instead, I'm giving office hours. And so starting next week, you'll get module one, and you'll have a week for each of the modules to work on them. And I will hold your hand and I will be there every step of the way. I'm not going to do the actual work, but I am happy to even get in your back end and your admin if you need help with some of that. What time do you think the calls are? Probably at 1 o'clock, the same time as this, because I have a 3 o'clock homeschool call on Wednesday. So I try to keep my mastermind meetings on Tuesday and Thursday, and then I try to do um, my different calls on Wednesday. They will all be recorded. There will be a form that if you want to have enter your questions, and then I can answer your questions even if you're not able to be there. So you can still get your questions answered even if you can't be there alive, if you can't be there live on the call. So you'll have 4 weeks to go through it. You may not be able to get everything done then. You may need to do a little more research. But I would say if you give yourself 8 weeks and you worked on this 30 to 40 minutes a day, you would actually get it. The most of the videos for the lessons are, I don't know, 5 to 8 minutes, so they're not super long. And there are a few that may be 10 minutes. And there's worksheets in there for you to get started and actually get your ideas written down. That's what the printable PDF support will be for the course. So each module, I think, has 2 to 4 videos, and each video should have some sort of PDF as well. How do I know if I'm right for this or not? Well, one, if you have a passion, and you may not know what that is, but if you have a desire to work online and have that freedom, I think this is something that can really work. I think that if you are a stay-at-home mom and or even a part-time worker and you have some extra time during the week, that will help. I think you would need to make sure that you have some kind of schedule and you're willing to commit to that schedule. So for me, when I took Digital Course Academy, our accountability calls were on Tuesday mornings. And no, I did not work on it for a week. I usually went to the coffee shop on Monday morning and I spent probably about 2 hours at the coffee shop working on it and getting my web pages and getting I mean, I was looking through some of that recently. Who is my ideal person? What are they dreaming of? What's their problem? And I spent time answering all those questions so I would be ready for the accountability call and say, yes, I got this done. So I know Wednesday's in the middle of the week. It's just sort of the time that works the best for my schedule this time. We may do something different if I open this up again as well. So if you're not making money and you've got a website and you've got some products, I would say take it. You can redo and sort of see what you're missing because there's some missing. It could be a messaging match. I don't know. So, oh yeah, about how much time a week do you think we need to have available to make a real go at it? I was thinking 30 to 40 minutes. An hour would be ideal. I think if you had an hour, that'd be plenty. But I think if you had 30 minutes a day, that will equal 2.5 hours weekdays. So let's say maybe 2.5 hours a week. That would give you plenty of time to watch the video and answer the questions. The thing that may take a while is if you're reaching out to people to get feedback. That sometimes will take a little bit longer, and you just sort of have to be patient and dedicated. Just like, what's his name? Pinterest CEO. I mean, who wrote 5,000 people? That's a lot of people, and making phone calls and giving out your personal number. So that took time, but you can be doing that over the whole course. And then when you get that feedback, you can start to tweak. So I would say 2 hours, 2.5 hours a week should be plenty. It depends on how you schedule is. It may be 30 minutes a day. If my kids were here, I probably would do 30 minutes a day because they had quiet time after lunch. Even when they didn't take naps, but everyone went in their room for an hour, and that was my time to get something done that I need to get done. And that would probably be the time I would do some, or I would get up an hour early and work on it. That's just me. Maybe some of you are night owls, and that would not be me because I was falling asleep after everything we would do during the day. I'll be going out of town for a week next month. Will I get too far behind? Well, the cool thing about it is you will actually get videos of everything. And so if you're going on vacation, go on vacation. Don't work on this thing. Enjoy your vacation. But when you come back, be ready to jump on it. And you will get recordings of any of the calls that you've missed. And we will just see how we can help you move forward. But if you're just gone for a week, you're not going to be that far behind. Do I get lifetime access? Yes, you do. As long as this course is available, you will be fully supported. All right. And you will be able to do this. The one thing I'd like to do is whoever ends up with this, and we can talk next Wednesday about it, if anyone wants to find an accountability partner and you want to just keep up with each other, that would be something that you can do as well. And so just we can try to match y'all up if anyone wants that. That would be outside of office hours. That would be something on your own. But I am happy to keep a list, a spreadsheet, and y'all can sort of talk amongst yourself. Will I be able to ask you questions? Yes, that is what we will be doing in office hours. That will start on Wednesday, April 29th. Any other questions? Please remind me how long the course runs for. Just a second. The course is for 4 weeks. It's actually 3 modules, and the bonus one is all about marketing and lists. And I will say, I don't want to make you overwhelmed by a whole bunch of other stuff. The pay in full will go even deeper, but this will get you going to where you've got a list and you'll start to grow that list and start to be able to make money. And I need to go back and look. I was going through all the course again to see what's in there. I will maybe do a few little updates because for one, it focused more on blog posts and I do podcasts now. So we will probably maybe have a little bonus thing on podcast or YouTube channels. And then tripwires, I need to look in there and see if tripwires are in there. They should be. And if they're not, I will be talking about that in the bonus module, marketing and lists, because that is how you can make instant money. They sign up for a freebie and they're immediately offered a low price product that they can get. And mine are usually $7 and $9. And all of a sudden they're a buyer instead of a freebie person. Thanks, Carrie. I've got to run. Baseball practice. Yes, yesterday she had baseball games. Any other questions before we close up? Thank y'all for spending time with me. If you have questions, shoot me a DM on Facebook or an email, and I would be happy to answer them. Y'all have a great day or a great evening for Lucy on the other side of the world. We'll talk to you later.